Well, hello again, and welcome to another edition of the Speed Bag. Today, a little segment that I like to call, Man, You Are Screwing This Up. So remember when former UFC welterweight champion Georges St-Pierre announced his intention to return to active MMA competition? And if your answer is, actually my recollection of that is a little hazy, I don't blame you, because it was like 11 months ago, and since then, GSP has been the star of the most boring soap opera in all of MMA. Now, see, I don't blame GSP entirely for that, especially at the beginning, which, again, was June of 2016. Back then, when he first came out with it, it was all, hey, my body is ready, I did a training camp just to test myself, and I'm not getting any younger, so let's do this. Only, of course, he said all that in that adorable GSP voice, which I will not try to recreate here, even though it is tempting. My body is... No, sorry, I'm sorry, I said I wasn't going to do this. Anyway, first he had to go through all these lengthy renegotiations with the UFC, filled with all this will they, won't they drama, but, hey, understandable, right? Like, he's not coming back because fighting is so good for his health. And he needs to make sure that his money is right, and I'm not going to hold that against him. Then it came time to pick an opponent, and he wanted UFC middleweight champion Michael Bisping, which, hey, call me crazy, kind of seemed like Bisping should be defending his title against actual middleweight contenders, of which there were plenty, but I get it, this way everybody makes boatloads of money, and there's that again, cash rules everything around us. No surprise there, right? But then GSP told us when he'd be ready to fight, which is any time you want it, Bisping, assuming that time is after October, as in this coming October, which is like half a year away from now, which is itself like a year away from when he first announced his comeback. I mean, are you joking? What happened to all this test training camp stuff? What happened to not getting any younger? I mean, you announced in the spring that you'll be ready in the late fall? What, did you already make plans to attend like a paleontology summer camp or something? And that delay made UFC President Dana White say, forget it, we'll give Yoel Romero the middleweight title shot. Which, to put that in perspective, GSP made the UFC so mad they agreed to give a title shot to the division's #1 contender. So who was GSP supposed to fight, right? I mean, Anderson Silva, maybe, at long last? No, GSP says he's not interested in that one because Silva is not the man he used to be. No offense, GSP, but for all we know, neither are you. Your last fight was in 2013. Let's be honest, that wasn't exactly your greatest performance. But in your absence, the one thing you retained was the goodwill of the fans who liked you and trusted you and believed in you. And now it seems like you're going out of your way to squander even that. GSP, dude, this is not how your glorious comeback is supposed to work. And something tells me that when you first announced it, like a year ago, it isn't how you pictured it going.